gentlemen, put your hands together for the best damn sports show weekly.
Coming to the room on a Sunday afternoon. Nyo Weekly, lower in the boom. Step into the room on a Sunday afternoon, and it's Nyo Weekly, lower in the boom.
Make some noise for your host, Nico.
Lower in the boom.
Suave. Make some noise for the OG.
Lower in the boom.
950 Cav.
Lower in the boom.
And TJ Jones.
Lower in the boom. Step into the room on a Sunday afternoon, and it's Nyo Weekly, lower in the boom. Step into the room on a Sunday afternoon, and it's Nyo Weekly, lower in the boom.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to NYO Weekly. It's your boy Suave. Hope everyone is doing well. We got a game 7 tonight. Game 7. The OKC Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers. I want to say this will probably be the first time, I think, in both franchises, they could get their first ring ever, I believe. I don't know. A lot of people say OKC has the home court advantage. I'm not too sure because, Indiana has won in OKC before. So it's one of them things. It's tricky. But I do believe Indiana has the team that could not even shock the world because it went 7, but could pull it off. Halliburton didn't look too well game 5. Came back, gave them a good 14 points. I think he's going to have to do a little more than that tonight. He got to get in that paint, man, for them to win. He got to get in that paint, collapse the defense, and then, get wide open threes for the Naismiths, Nembhard, and Turner, and easy buckets for Pascal and TJ McConnell. Got to do what he been doing these last few games. And even, for OKC, them others, that bench, I'm going to have to really come with it tonight. You got people like Caruso. He's going to have to put in some work tonight. Then you got guys like Kason Wallace and Wiggins. And, just it's got to be a team effort, man. That's the best way to put it. But hey, I think it's going to be something to see. I really feel that way tonight. It's going to be a good one. And, I think there'll be I think this game will be probably one of the closer games. I don't think, as good as OKC has been, I think both teams are going to have a sense of urgency. So I can't see Indiana being in a spot where they're down, 15, 20 points. I just don't see it. I think, Rick Carlisle going to have them boys ready. I think they're going to play tough. Now, the question is, are the refs going to let them play? Shea, he's the MVP. He's the star. He's getting a lot of those, calls. And that boy can maneuver in that paint. So it's gonna be interesting to see, man. It's gonna be a good one. We don't have many game 7s. I think, what was the last one? 2016, Golden State versus Cleveland. We all know what happened with that. The block, and then Kyrie with the 3 at the end, and Cleveland got their first chip. The Cleveland Cavaliers franchise. So it's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be a good one. I got a quick video I'm going to show y'all for Game 7 tonight, and we're going to come back.
It's one game for everything you ever dreamed of. If you win it, you get everything. If you lose it, you get nothing. And it's that simple.
And we got a game 7, and I think it's going to be a thrill. I don't think I've ever looked forward in my life to going to OKC. I do now. I can't wait for Sunday night. I can't wait.
We got one game. You know, it's nothing that's happened before matters.
The best 2 words in sports. Game 7.
What's up, Kev? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Suave? Sorry I'm a little late.
No, you all good. You all good, man. Game 7 tonight, man. I kind of probably know who you got already. But what? What's up, Bo?
What's happening, fellas?
Good, man.
Oh,
So I'm gonna ask y'all, man. Keys to success for both teams tonight. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and have this one.
good though.
For OKC, they just got to play their game, defense, and stop missing easy shots. I think that's about it. And I don't know, Indiana. I guess it's the same thing. They just gotta, play defense and don't miss easy shots. I guess it's mostly the same. It's a game 7. There's no strategy. You know what they're gonna do. You know what they're gonna run in certain situations. So now it's just execution at this point.
Nah,
True.
I agree wholeheartedly with you. I think again for Indiana, the keys is obviously Halliburton. How does he get off? How does he get everybody else involved? Their role players play really well, especially at home, but now they're on the road. How does the role players play? McConnell, Toppin, and the rest of those guys, Neesmith. For OKC, it's simple. Really just feed off the crowd and do what you do.
Yeah.
Shay's playing well. They need a big game from the rest of the crew. James Williams, Chet Holmgren. They need those guys to step in and do what they do. So I think again, it's simple for OKC. Feed off the energy, allow that crowd to carry you through, and really take it to Indiana. Pacers, take that first shot, that 3 to 5 minute shot. Don't let that, put you in a hole.
Yeah.
Play basketball. Again, like I said, it's all hands on deck. Nothing really to lose at this point. Just play ball.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Like I was saying earlier, I think both teams know the magnitude. Tonight you can be the first to ever do it in your, respected franchises. So I think that, and I think Indiana's gonna come out with a sense of urgency because you are on the road. You can't let this game get away. Now more than ever. I ain't gonna say you gonna play mistake free, but you gotta damn near do it. Halliburton, look, man. Yeah, I know you pass efficient and all that, but tonight you gotta get to the cup, bro. I'm sure they wouldn't care if you get 25, 5-5, and y'all win the final. They ain't gonna say, man, he showed one passing tonight, because it don't matter if you win the chip. So, I know you want to be that, get everybody else involved, but if it's there for you, you got to take it. You have to. And I think for OKC, them others, that bench got to come up clutch tonight. Lou Dort going to have to hit some shots. Caruso got to hit his shots. Wallace and Wiggins and, just them other guys. Because, Shea and them, they're going to do their thing, but them others on both sides, whose bench is gonna come through. Really, I think that's what it's gonna come down to on both sides.
Mm-hmm. No question
So
about it. Like I said, it's a situation tonight where if again, I'm basketball is not my forte from a coaching perspective, but I'm coaching these teams just like, look, the game enough will be pressure. Throw caution to the wind, just play ball.
yeah,
You know, if it's not working, we'll get you out for a couple of minutes and get you back in. But you gotta compete. There's nothing to lay. There's no, you know, I know the cliches. There's no tomorrow, the cliches, right? But really, like I said, Halliburton's dealing with an injury. Do what you got to do. Fight through it. Get the treatment. You can rest tomorrow. Oklahoma City, we know our situation with when it comes to this team and this franchise. We don't know if we're going to have this team, majority of this team back next year or the years after.
yeah.
Play now. Confirm it. Win it. You know, again, there's no need to be timid. You don't play 6 games against this team. You know what they do. Y'all both know each other. Y'all both hate each other at this point. Just go compete. And if whoever does that the most, the execution does not let the moment get to them as much, will be fine. These are 2 teams that really don't have any that type of game 7 or even finals leadership. But after 6 games, you figure, look, you know, both teams should be comfortable and ready to ball. I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, no, I do too. It's gonna be. I think it'll be similar to game 1 minus that 15, 20 point lead. I think the Pacers are gonna keep it close. You know, OKC, you know, they like to get out and run. But I think, like you say, now you know your opponent. You know certain things. You know, Shea and Jalen Williams, they be in them passing lanes.
Right.
You know, so I think I don't know who's gonna win, but I could see it coming down to a last second kind of thing. You know,
you do. I got the contrary. I think Oklahoma City is going to play their best game. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I think Oklahoma City will win. Concise will be a concise win. I think they'll. I look at that way. I think when I look at these 6 games, they haven't played their best basketball, and that's credit to Indiana. That's not Oklahoma City. That's Indiana making them not play their ball. But I think again at home, they played game 6 like they had a game in their pocket. Very similar to how Indiana played when they played the Knicks at game 5, like they had a game in their pocket. And you know, you don't like to see that, but the human nature sometimes take over. I think Oklahoma City wins this game at least by 8 to 10 points.
No, hey, we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. I think you know, you just don't know. I think, but to that point of the perfect game, tonight would be the night.
Yeah.
You know, hey, for all the marbles, after tonight, ain't no next game, ain't no tomorrow. You either gonna look at this season as a success or a failure. You know, even Indiana, you've done all this in the playoffs. Yes, you were not expected to get here, but now you're here.
Yeah,
So,
that fatigue has been going a long time. They're here.
Yeah. So
and that spot.
And even for them, hey, can you do it? Can you finish the job? It's gonna be interesting to see, man. I'm excited to see what I know it's gonna be crazy in Indiana and in OKC for the people that can't get in. I'm sure the people that got tickets to this game tonight is like bet.
Yeah,
because it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild.
As you're saying, I'm looking up the price for a ticket.
I know it got to be something crazy. At least,
it's
at least 4 figures. At least.
Yeah, the cheapest seat is right at 1,000, which I think.
Oh, okay.
For the market is pretty good, and the highest ticket is 24.
How much would that ticket be in New York?
A game 7 might be. That could be $100K.
Ooh, for the nosebleeds.
Highest ticket. No, well, the nosebleeds here is 1,000.
No. I'm just saying in New York. How much would a nosebleed?
Probably 25 grand.
Ooh,
For a team that hadn't been there in over 50 years.
yeah.
So, Oklahoma City, you play the market, $1,000. Hell, that's a game in February at the Garden. I mean,
You got a point. No, you got a point.
In Chicago and Atlanta, probably very similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, 24K is the highest price seat. That's
a good question. Hey, how much would a nosebleed be for crypto game 7 with the Lakers playing?
Depending on who it is, about 1,500 and up.
I'm saying for the finals. For the finals, like game 7.
1,500.
Hey, if you got it though, you got it.
Listen.
You got it.
Price
You got it,
God bless him. But he think Shana got his own because listen. As much as I'm a Knicks fan, I ain't spend no 25,000. I can find other things to do with that money. I could watch it somewhere nicely, snally attired with somebody able to give me my steak of choice, and I'm good. I don't need
2,500. I don't need to get up to get nothing. Ever need to be brought to me for 2,500.
Oh, for sure.
I know years ago, and I'm showing my age. The Yankees, 96. They hadn't won a World Series in like 15 years. Or been to a World Series in 15 years. And they played Atlanta, Game 6. I was at that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was at the time I was working on Wall Street, and I got a good deal for it. But it wasn't nowhere near that. I mean, this is 30 years ago. Ticket was I think about maybe $600, and even for that time, that was kind of expensive. But you try to play with the Joneses. I don't know what I was thinking even back then, but I went to that game. They played the Braves, and they won that World Series.
Man, that's crazy. Hey, nah, but like you say though, it'll probably be something crazy here too.
Oh yeah, Chicago. Yeah,
it'll be ugly.
You're not getting $1,000 for a nosebleed in Chicago or even LA. That's Oklahoma City.
Probably be right at my dad's or at my mom's. Like, yes, go Bulls. Woo-hoo. with something they done cook. I'll be like,
your favorite beverage of choice.
Exactly.
And if you wanted to take it to another level, maybe not at mom and dad's, but have somebody rubbing your shoulders. Listen, and I'm still ahead of the game. I ain't even come close to 24th.
So, in other news, OG, your team done sold for $10 billion. Boy, with a B, not an M, but a B. $8 million more than that other team in LA. No, let me stop. So we're gonna get this floor to you, O. What do your Lakers look like going forward? Let's say next 2 years. What do they look like going forward?
That is a tough question. I can't even. Depends on the free agency market. Depends on how aggressive they want to get, and in that 2 years, have we cut LeBron loose? So that's why I said it's a lot of variables to that one simple little question that you asked. But I think with all that, when it's said and done, we should be back at the top of the West. We should be able to build a team the way they want to build it, and they should build it and keep it. Like what they had back in the, like what a winning formula, which I don't think a lot of people understand. Too big, a very good superstar, and one or two superstars, and a great supporting cast. But we need that. We need too big.
Like the Thunder.
No, it's not like the Thunder.
No, I'm saying that's their formula.
No,
that's not. You got two. No. That is Dave. Come on, man. Chet like 17. That's a big.
They bigs don't score like I'm talking. That's what I'm saying, Suave. If you look at our history, our bigs scored. They weren't just there for show and defense. All our bigs scored.
Okay,
All
so
our
to
bigs.
that point, as
Yeah.
far as bigs, who are you looking at then?
Did he? I think O froze.
Yeah, we'll bring him back.
Well, look at
When
it
he
this
come back
way.
on screen.
Yeah, look at it this way, Suave. In
Oh,
NBA,
here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
let him go. Yep.
All right, you back.
Now, what were you saying?
I was saying, what bigs could y'all potentially be looking at?
Whatever's available, bro. Right now, I know they're looking at Capella. They're also looking at what's going to happen with Jaron Jack because they might go ahead and just go swoop him up now. That would be the best move to start out with because you got a young big with a young superstar and you can fill in around that however you want. Really, you got two young bigs. You still got Jackson Hayes. You still got who came over with Luca Walker. And then they also talking about going to get, making a trade with Utah. So there's a lot of stuff that can be done. But, just like anything else, I don't want to say nothing about it until they, ink is on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Jaron Jack would be my first. Jackson would be my first big I would go after. That's my first player I'm going after, period.
Yeah. Okay. But no, Kev, go ahead. What were you going to say earlier?
Well, like I said, if we look at NBA annals, the Lakers, there's no great superstar that does not finally find their way to Los Angeles on purple and gold. This is the reality. You go back to Wilt, Kareem, just we can go on and on, right? So don't be surprised. It might not be this year. Don't be surprised if Giannis finds his way in purple and gold. It just seems to be that way. Every great superstar, when they hit a certain get plus 30, they find their way in Los Angeles. And the thing about it, it's a new day, right? With the money, the Buss family, this was their thing. They have other interests, but the Lakers was their main portfolio piece. The gentleman buying the Lakers now, this is he stacks sports teams because I guess he just doesn't want to pay for tickets, and he's got the type of dough. So from a standpoint, it would not surprise me if Giannis eventually finds his way with the Lakers. The Jaron Jackson thing you said, that's another piece because I think Memphis is gutting it out. Obviously after the Bain trade and probably even trying to search for a place for Ja. But I just think that the Lakers now can play in that stratosphere. It's already a destination point. Why would guys not want to go to LA? It's a legacy franchise. So I just think that at the point in time, we just clowned the Lakers a couple weeks ago about the trainer salary forward, because you got a guy who knows that the team across town now in Inglewood spends dough. And so the Lakers, they didn't have to spend that much money anyway because they were the Lakers. Yeah. Now you give them dough, and they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be back. They'll be back. I mean, maybe this year might be transition year, 2026, 2027. I guarantee that team will be retooled and be talking about a championship.
That's why I say two, because I think, at least 2 off seasons can get them guys you need. Trade deadlines, all that good stuff.
And I think probably this could be LeBron's swan song because if the rumor is he wants to play now with Bryce, that's not happening with the Lakers. So Bryce is going to Arizona. He's probably a one and done, even if he's not ready. He's probably going to be a one and done. So if LeBron wants to, they'll easily accommodate him with Bronny. Where y'all want to go, we'll throw Bronny in. We'll accommodate you. And whoever that new team is, y'all go draft his other kid and you make it the James gang. That's what y'all want to do. Go right ahead. But I just think this is probably his last run. And it kind of makes sense because while Jeannie right now is still, kind of in the building, that nobody pays $10 billion and just like, I got a portfolio piece. No, he's going to want his hands dirty. And we see what he does with the Dodgers. They have no problem spending dough. None.
But with that, Kev, she's staying on. They didn't say how long, but she will still be the governing body of the Lakers.
But that's really just a deal with the league, right? That's not saying she has all decision-making powers for the Lakers.
Oh no.
Yeah, right.
She
Yeah,
has, she's not the final decision maker. It would be Mark and who, because he said he's about to put GMs, assistant GM.
right.
They're about to go full blown. Yeah, they're starting a whole new system. So
Right.
she's just a cog in the wheel now, which depends on how long she wants to do that. But
Right.
and for because I was at the point where we didn't really want to spend the luxury tax.
No.
I did see that from 2001 up until now, we spent almost 300 something million in luxury tax penalties and during that 24-year span. So it's not like they didn't want to spend the money; they just didn't have it to spend the way they needed to.
What Golden
And
State do that in 2 years? 300 million.
yeah. The Golden State didn't care, and I think that's where.
Yeah.
But if you look at the little, what would you call it, the soft caps of the NBA,
Yeah.
it really doesn't afford you to go over it because you lose so much.
Yeah.
You can't make certain trades. You can't do this. You can't do that. So I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna just say, "Hey, get the pieces you need, and we'll put it together slowly but surely," or he's gonna go all in and just try to get it done within, like you said, 2 years.
Well, we know baseball and basketball are two different sports, but
Right.
if you can gauge anything from what he does with the Dodgers, they're not patient people.
Not winning. Yeah, he's not. He's not at all. And that's what I was thinking about when he first bought the team. Oh, he's gonna spend. Until I saw that, and they're gonna probably tell him, "Hey, yes, we can spend, but it's not gonna help us the way that you think it would, like in baseball. So we're gonna have to be more economical on how we spend this money, but we can still spend it."
Now, the key for you, the key question is: do they keep JJ Redick with the new management? New management didn't hire Redick.
At this point, I think if you go back, we're still paying coaches from Mike Brown. So I don't think at this point you can. I know the new ownership really could care less about that, but you can't keep hiring coaches for 1 or 2 years, sending them home and sending them paychecks. You got like 4 or 5 coaches you're doing that to.
Hey, we can do that, right? Send us home after about 8
Right,
months.
that's what I'm saying. I'll do 6 months, and you can send me home with my contract money. That's fine. But I think
want me out, cool.
Right. Yeah, you want me out? Hey, no problem. My bags ain't never been unpacked. But I think what JJ showed this season, his first season, it said a lot.
I think he did a good job. Yeah,
I think he did a great job, and I just think he didn't have the right pieces. We still need a lot of pieces. We need defense. We need shooters. But like I said, once we get to where we need to get, we might be all right.
Yeah.
Hey.
Just depends on how long it's gonna take.
We gonna see. So, I got a question for y'all. Have y'all seen a clip of Steven Jackson and them boys at the Big Three last weekend?
Yes.
In the locker room, talking about Google Me B, and this is my question for y'all. Does Ice Cube have to reel them in a little bit, or wait before you say yeah, or does he have to pick some different people for this for what he's trying to do? Because it's like, fam, you too old to be talking about come see me in a parking lot, Google me, I really about this. It's like, fam, you like 50. Why are you still talking like that? I'm asking. I'm just asking. Like, you're not in the hood no more.
If he wants to
probably got grandkids.
If he wants to keep that TV contract and being able to keep growing his brand, I mean, listen. I think again, what Ice Cube is trying to do is monumental, right? Just trying to be another pro league, really without the NBA's blessing and kind of going against the grain against them, right? And having guys in the league. And I think what he's probably telling these guys to be your genuine self, right? nothing wrong with the trash talk. There's nothing wrong with getting a little physical once in a while. And a couple of skirmishes, you can live with that. But when you got, these are all grown men. None of these guys are babies, right? It's just the big three. When you got grown men going above and beyond, it just looks bad in the league. Now, again, we know it's basketball and what have you, but let's talk about the business of basketball. And the business of basketball is not into all that. And Cube knows that. Cube is going from, wearing Jerry curls to being a real corporate dynamo in the business sector, entertainment field. So yeah, he's going to be like, yeah, be yourselves, but all that extra stuff got to go. And as for Steven Jackson, listen, I get it. We all from inner cities, right? I get it. But after a while, my dude, like, come on, it looks clownish. I mean, like, it just looks clownish because you ain't really scamming nobody. You think you think you having these conversations with these dudes like you at Rucker Park or the Drew League or some league, somewhere by Madison in Chicago. Like it's gonna go down. It ain't going down. So you doing this stuff. You must be doing it for the cameras because if you was a real G, like yo, turn that off. Turn that off. Close the doors. Close. So what is it really about? You know what I mean? So I think after a certain point, and I'm a man of a certain age, you look clownish. Because if you was really about that life and you was really trying to set an example, close the doors, turn those cameras off. I got something to say. But no, you didn't run the cameras. You knew it was going to go viral. But what it does is affects the league that this man, O'Shea Jackson, aka Ice Cube, has given you empowerment to be involved in, has given you the opportunity to extend your, not just your playing cycle, but extend your visibility because it's visible, even though Steven Jackson does some other things. It's just not warranted. It's not good for the league. It's not good. Forget about him. He can do whatever he wants, but it's not good for the people that employ you.
Yeah. Go ahead, though.
At this point, I don't know if you saw the clip of when Lance Stevens, Dwight Howard was fighting in the crowd. But if you look at Ice Cube's face, he didn't frown. His expression didn't change. But everybody in LA knew exactly what that look meant. At this point, these cats on thin ice.
Yeah.
Because this is his money, his name, his brand. That's all the fucking up.
Yeah.
I hate to say it like that, but at this point, we are grown men. So I'm not, like Kev said, I'm not dealing with 21, 19, 8. I expect that out of them. And like, you can have all the trash talk you want, but certain things, and when it comes to business, you messing up other people's money, that becomes personal.
Yeah.
You may not think it's personal, but it becomes personal to them.
Yeah.
So you got to watch that line. And like Kev said, if you real, you just turn the lights off. You ain't got to say nothing. But, clowning. No, seriously, because
No, I'm laughing at Erica. She talking about Steven Jackson got old man strength. Yeah, but
old man strength, but you also don't have your own company to be calling your own. So you don't understand about business like you got, but you're not even on All Smoke no more. Matt Barnes took that over. So every job you didn't have, you didn't got fired from.
That says a lot. He was right. All Smoke. He's not on Fox. I mean, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You went from ESPN, All the Smoke. Now all of a sudden, I've seen Matt Barnes doing 4 or 5 episodes by himself, and never said your name. But you on someone else's thing? I mean, come on, man. Y'all got to get that together.
You got to keep it real. Come on, man. You got to keep it real.
You can keep it real, but you still a grown man. At some point, grown man got to kick in and be like, hey, keeping it real is making me look stupid.
Yeah.
But is that really, I know you joking, Swab, but is that really keeping it real or keeping it ignorant?
True. Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
I mean,
but
face it, he ain't been on that type of time maybe since Steven Jackson came straight to the NBA. He ain't been that type of time in almost 30 years. So we trying to front like when he goes to O Block, we trying to front like you live on O Block.
Yeah.
No,
and
dog.
I didn't understand that either. I'm like, why
you live in a gated community? So why are we playing that? People who are in these environments, no matter what city or in tough environments, they don't really want to be there either. They have no choice. So when you go there like, yeah, I'm checking in, bro, you look clownish. Because probably half them dudes are probably trying to find a way to get that stack out of you. I know they call them stack. They probably trying to get that stack from you because that you don't. Why are you here? If you're trying to help me or pay homage, help us. Invest in something, build something. Don't just come here and take some videos for TikTok and Instagram. I don't get that.
I agree.
Yeah, he was there to invest in the community, and maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he did it, just he didn't promote it. But if you're doing that, that's different. But if you just did because you're trying to get some points in your mind, that's something's missing. Even Kendrick Perkins has calmed down his little. Oh, I'm about that because he realized, dog, I like these jobs and it's good benefits. I like it.
I gained 50 pounds since I've been at ESPN.
Exactly. I like it.
Damn.
You know,
Yeah.
I like going to Wally's in Beverly Hills. I like going to Mr. Child's in New York. I like that. I like hanging out on down by the water in Chicago. I like that. So why would you play that game? You're a man of a certain age. Guys got grays in their face, wrinkles. If they got hair, it's thinning. Relax, dog. You can still present yourself as a real man, but yet not have to play that game. Come on, what are we doing? What are we doing?
But no, to O's point, it's one of them things like, fam, Ice Cube is putting his neck out there for you. Don't spit in his face. Like, come on, fam.
Because who's got to answer that? Though it ain't Dwight Howard, it ain't Steven Jackson, it ain't none of those guys. When those execs, TV execs, CBS, and those arenas and everything else, fan experience, who having the conversation? Cube and his management team. Hey, listen, we know former NBA guys, but we can't have this. And this may be a reason why they can't get Carmelo and some of these other higher echelon former players to play because they know it's some BS going on.
Yeah.
No, so just imagine you having that skirmish and someone in the crowd gets hurt.
Yeah.
Like
a kid or something.
You're trying to act like you the king of the jungle. So now I'm suing you. I'm suing both the players. I'm suing Ice Cube. I'm suing the league. I'm suing the arena. And I'm suing the TV set. I'm suing everybody.
I'm trying to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Big bucks. But no, yeah, I agree. And I, just watching it, I'm like, why? Like I said, you probably got like grandchildren. Like, come on, fam. You gotta set an example for them. But I digress. No, seriously, like for real. I'm dead serious. Like, come on, man.
But if they're acting like that, they ain't trying to set example for nobody. That's why I laugh. Yeah. I mean, I'm not laughing at what you said, but yeah, if you trying to set example, bro, you setting the wrong type of example.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So
example to who? The dudes playing prison ball?
That's what it looked like.
What is it? I mean, that's what they playing jail ball. Yeah. You can't even do that in the streets in playground. You get shot. Somebody going to get their piece. Or you playing gorilla ball?
Or somebody calling somebody, hey, pull up real quick. Then it's a whole thing. So it's just one of them things. I'm just like, fam, you too old. Somebody got to hold him back. Something.
Before you move on, Swap, the story would have been a lot better if it wasn't recorded. They would say, Steven Jackson went off.
Yes.
It would be more of a legend and more of a piece to like, oh yeah, he wild because he heard 20 different stories. It would have been better for him to shut off the cameras and let him talk about it. Yeah, I'd let these cats know, like he liked to talk. That would have been a better play.
And then I'm sure the way that camera was placed, he saw that camera.
Why you think
he probably told him to hit the record button?
Yeah. Turn the camera on. Turn the camera on.
Well, Michael Jordan say, "Stop it. You get some help."
Exactly.
Come on, man. But in other news,
Mm-hmm.
Kev's favorite quarterback, Shador Sanders, Speedy Gonzalez, boy. Boy got hey, come on, man. How you got 2 speeding tickets in 12 days? What are you doing?
Oh, that makes it even worse. Oh my god.
And then they
I
say he
thought
didn't
it was
show up
a
to
month. You
court.
said 12 days.
They say he
Yeah.
got one June 5th,
Yeah.
June 17th. Like
And he
what?
missed court on the first one.
Like, nigga, what? You trying to get in trouble already?
That CFL thing might be a reality, man. He might.
Now,
The
let
way
me
I
ask, let me ask this. Could he have been doing this in Colorado and just no one knew about it?
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
Colorado and Jackson, Mississippi. Listen, if he's getting 2 tickets in the matter of 2 weeks, then this is normal behavior. I mean, we can assume, he just got this kid's been driving high horsepower cars for years, maybe since high school. So, this is just his norm. But the reality is that he got to understand, and I think he gets it because he is a kid that's been in the limelight, and because of his last name will always be extra scrutinized. I mean, not to say, listen, when this story first came out, I thought about when I was young, when I got my first car and got caught driving off the and I forgot the highway in New York, but I was driving
I'll tell you my story later, just in case my mom watches.
Yeah, yours is probably more current. Last week. Mine was some time ago. But I get it. You're young and you got the music blasting, and he had a girl behind him, so they probably was both driving to get to where he wanted to get. He wanted to do some other stuff driving, wanted to ride something into something else. So I get it, but to do it twice in 2 weeks, not to go to court, and realizing that in this sport that you have chose to put your vocation in, distractions matter. And while your Shador Sanders, I know people were fans of him and all that. Shador.
Yeah.
You're still a 5th round pick. You're still with over 4 other quarterbacks on the team. So now if you're going to be an issue every week where you're going to have speeding tickets, or thank God he didn't have anything liquor on his breath, or have any strong mouthwash in his mouth, because it would have been a whole nother story. So I just think that hopefully he learns his lesson and realizes that I'm not in college anymore. Daddy's not the coach. And this is, I'm in my grown man era, and I just can't do certain things. So I'm gonna give Shador take the ladder that he learns from this, and maybe just slows down.
Real quick, they say the first time he was pulled over, he was doing 91 and a 65.
Mm-hmm.
And the second time he was doing 101 and a 60. It's like, fam, what are you doing? But, hey, we've all been there, just not twice in 12 days. But, we all been there.
I will say this. I don't know if anybody else saw it. I don't know if this is true or not. Breaking news. The Suns have just traded KD to Houston for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and a 10th round pick.
Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and
wow, that's huge. Yeah, Fresh just sent me a text. Yeah, and I'm looking at it now with Sham, so it was on Sham.
Dylan Brooks though? Damn, I thought they would try to keep that.
That contract.
So
don't forget he got 4 years, $80 million.
But what about Green? Wasn't he still on a rookie deal?
No, Green got a new deal. He got
a new deal already?
He got an extension already?
That's when Drea he got with Drea.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
But I think that's a great move for Houston. That's a championship move for Houston. Because you really think about it, KD, Jalen Green was a good young player. Yeah. Dylan Brooks was limited.
He fell off in the playoffs, Jalen Green.
Exactly. And Dylan Brooks is a role player. I get that. But KD with the core with Van Bleek and Shangoon and Thompson, man, that team That's a
I
championship.
forgot all about Thompson. Damn.
Yeah,
I
that
forgot all
kid's an
about
emerging superstar. That's a championship move, and they
So,
didn't have to get much because they the 10th pick for them. They wanted,
would KD be a 3?
huh?
Possibly. Would KD be their 3? Possibly.
Say it again.
The 3, the small forward.
Oh yeah, you
Would
can
that
play
be his position?
KD 3-4. You can play positionless basketball because him, Shangoon, and Thompson. That's your front line anyway, and you still got Steven Adams off the bench. This is a championship move, gentlemen. I think Houston, the West is on notice because while KD is only is 37, 2 years really with coming back from an Achilles, and the way he plays basketball, he's always going to. He can play. He's probably one guy that can play to his 40s if he wanted to because his game is smooth. He's a jump shooter. He's not putting a lot of wear and tear on his body. And now with KD being, I think, one of the most efficient superstars there is, unselfish as well, with that team and that coaching staff, good luck. And they
and he back in Texas too now, where he went to college and all that.
Can Udoka and KD get along?
That's the key. That's the key because Udoka will push people and he will challenge you. But you know what? I know KD's got this attitude and behavior, but I think Udoka might be good for him at this time in his career. Because sometimes, I mean, you can look at it and go like, you know what? A dog's never going to change the stripes, and that's just he is who he is, and that could be the case. But you can also look at it from a standpoint that, you know what, this guy looks at his career, and he's now in the twilight. He's in the fourth quarter, right? And he's saying to himself, like, yeah, I'm one of the greatest to ever play, but I only really won with Steph, right? I only won with a loaded deck. I didn't win 3-1 when we was at Oklahoma City and lost to Golden State. My toe was on the line in Brooklyn. We didn't beat Milwaukee.
I couldn't beat LeBron when I was in OKC.
So this could be his final chapter. It is his final chapter, well, no matter what. So look at it from a standpoint, you know what? Maybe I got to change. He's never going to change completely. You're never going to have him. You ain't going to be having him doing no ups and downs in practice.
They do that in basketball.
They do that. Yeah. Suicide and all that. He ain't gonna be doing all that.
Run the lines, right? Run the lines.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know run the lines, but up downs is a.
Oh, they do that.
You gotta hit the chest and all.
Yeah. But
okay,
I think he might look at this as an opportunity with the right coach, with the right set of players. I think having Van Bleek is huge now because you got another veteran, and Shangoon and Thompson are emerging superstars. This can be a team. This could be a team now. You look at like the mid-level. Look for a couple of mid-level guys to go to Houston. No state tax. Now you got a chance to really win.
And that's what KD was saying too. He wanted to go to a team with no state tax.
I will say this, Kev. Everything that you said would make perfectly good sense. If you did not see the tweet from KD a couple of days ago talking about I'm happy with my life, I'm a 50, 40, 90 guy, I 2-time champion, da-da-da-da-da. That's why I said I don't think he's going to change.
Yeah.
That's the only pushback, and that came out of his words. That's his words out of his mouth. So,
no, I agree with you, man. I don't think
I agree with everything else, though.
I can't argue that because we know he's cantankerous, right? Today's words cantankerous. But I just think that you know what, he had to approve the trade, right? He wasn't. I don't know if he had a no trade, but they weren't just going to trade him anywhere. So I guess he had to have a conversation with Udoka. And I think Udoka will have to centerize his game a little, his coaching style a little bit, and KD's got to come in the middle. I think they can agree because they're good for each other. Because you can win a championship with KD at 37.
Yes.
And he's going to be the main scorer here. He's going to be the number one. He's going to be the number one option.
Yep.
It's huge.
It's just. I mean, I hate to say it, but it depends on these young boys. If they get jealous and let the KD factor sink in their head, then I don't know. And then don't forget you are in Houston. It's just like being here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But I think KD, that's the least of his worries. You don't never really hear much about him though. Wherever he at.
He has like a couple porn stars once in a while, but he don't.
That's crazy. Why would you even say that?
It's the truth. You remember who I should do advertising for, right? At the bar. It's the truth. He was dating one of what's the Lana Rhodes. He was.
Oh, you wait. You serious?
No.
Yes, I'm serious.
We're gonna have to. We'll talk after the live, Cam. But we gotta talk to you about this after we get off of this.
Yeah, we'll discuss
I have some questions.
Hey, we'll discuss this on a Patreon.
You can Google listen,
uncut.
You can talk about it, but you can Google if you put in Kevin Durant, Lana Rhodes. He wasn't hiding it either.
That's crazy.
But even though nobody was checking the nets, they were checking for him off the floor. So he was entertaining. He had no problem taking it. He was
wild boy.
The wild boy. So in Houston, he likes him a little, milk of magnesia. So he'll find something out in Houston.
He got
sisters, but he'll find what he likes.
Hey, he just keep going. He all gas.
Hey, man, hey, that's what I said after you. I know how my brother Cam gets down, so that's why I'm like, after we get off, I got some questions for you.
But real quick though, back to Speedy Gonzalez here. Do you think he learned his lesson? Do you think he's done?
Personally, listen,
you hope so.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think again, the one thing we can say about Dion, right? At least what Dion presents to us to see is that he's a good father. Right? And not to say he can control his son. Son's a grown man, got his own money. Now he ain't living under his roof. But I also believe that when it comes to this football thing, Dion will get at his son. And I know in big shout out to Prime. I hope he's healing and getting well on the sidelines this fall. But with that being said, I think, because again, if this happens again, son, you're out of there. I can't trust my quarterback if I have to think when he leaves this facility, I got to worry. Now, his issue is not drinking. His issue is not gambling, doing other stuff. If his issue is just driving on a highway at high speeds, he can, number one, hurt himself. He can kill somebody. And it's just a menace, And Cleveland's not a super big city, right? So people, it's not out of far of exaggeration. People start following him on the road and, let's see how fast Shador's driving today. So don't make this an issue. You got enough problems trying to get reps in camp. And camp starts about, 3 weeks, a month? I think you should be focused on that. And I think, again, in my opinion, a young man who's been in the spotlight most of his life, pretty much all his life, from the reality show to quarterbacking, what have you, I think he will get the point. I mean, again, I don't know the man personally. I have no, he maybe gets a driver. But I think after two tickets like that, you lose a lot of points. I know when I did mine, I lost 6 points in New York off just one. So,
but don't they usually? I know in Illinois when I got stopped once, they took my license.
Oh, they didn't do that in New York. I didn't even have to
took my license, and you had to appear in court and things like that.
Okay, different
that's
state.
One way to make y'all come to court.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he missed his court date.
He missed the first quarter.
A lot of teams. A lot of states don't do that. They'd rather for you not to come, so they can come get you and get more money out of you.
Yeah, right. Like in New York, when I had mine, there was no court appearance. It was just a ticket, but they took points off my license. And if you get, I think, up to 12 points in a year, you get your license suspended in New York State. So it took half.
Wow.
That's why if you talk to Mike or my brother Rodeo, they laugh about how I drive, or he don't drive. Just because of that situation. That's like, that will never happen to me again.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
I don't blame you.
Right. My daddy wasn't no quarterback.
But you also got to remember, Suave, you said he was doing 95 and a 65 and 101 and a 60.
And a 60, 40 miles
Those, I don't know if they got super speeders in Ohio, but if that's a super speeder ticket, he's done. He's done. That's 20 miles over the speed limit. There's no coming back from that. There's no court date. There's no fine. They're taking license and suspending it. And if you
had a Mississippi license too, so if you watch the video, because he had
what?
He had his Mississippi license, so he probably had that license from when he was at Jackson State.
Right.
So he just, he had a license, but the cop was saying, they have to reach out to the state of Mississippi as well, because that's where his license that's where he's licensed in that state. So his plates were probably Mississippi plates.
Right. Okay.
It's easier to register a car in Mississippi than Colorado or Ohio. So he probably just registers everything in Mississippi.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
I wish him luck with that, because once a speeder, always a speeder.
Yeah. But they probably drive that way in Mississippi.
That'll drive like that in Mississippi. That's a lot of back roads, though. No, honestly, it's probably a lot of back roads he's hitting.
Oh, I'm sure.
This ain't Mississippi, brother.
Right. This is a big city. Got highways.
This is the north, son.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on, from an organizational standpoint only, and maybe teammate. If this is your quarterback, and he's done it twice, as a teammate first, did you look at him weird? Or you look at him funny, like, how do I trust you to make great decisions? You can't even make decisions off the field.
That's a good
Same
point.
way with the organization.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it.
It's a great question, and I think, again, you have to ask yourself about responsibility. Me personally, I don't want to, again, I'm trying not to be a hypocrite, right? Because me personally, but I think, again, you probably have to look at it from an organizational standpoint, because you're adding more distraction. We got other things to worry about with you. Now, again, we're talking about big business. Shador, we're getting you a driver, or Shador, you got to have, those things can happen. It's not like it's a regular 9-to-5 guy. He can get that. Or, hey, you know what? We feel it'd be safer if he just has somebody drive you. He's got a team that he's got hang-oners on him. All those guys with, legendary. Somebody can drive the wheel for him, and that might be the case. But as a team, you have to probably ask yourself a little bit, because we can't trust you. We might look at it, and people look at it and like, it's just a driver's ticket. But if this is big business, you're a CEO of a company, and you have to be somewhere. I got to know that you're going to be there on time. And, because other people are counting on you. It's not just about you. You're not in charge. You're not a boxer. You're not Adrian Broner. You're a guy quarterbacking a team, or trying to quarterback a team. So it's like 50 other guys that rely on you, especially that position. So, yes, but I think, again, it can be a situation where he can redeem himself. Just fly right. He's been doing all the right things and saying all the right things up until this. So I personally, Kevin Pryor, will give him the benefit of doubt. But if he did again, I think he would be cut.
Okay.
All right. Well,
but you're absolutely correct, he walks in the facility and look at him like, bro, what are you doing?
Right.
That's Ohio. You lucky it turned out that way. I mean, listen, you still in this hue. You lucky it happened that way,
Yeah.
Regardless of what your last name is or whatever card they give you to give the top saying you're an NFL player, you're still a black man.
Yeah,
and a white
city. What's your daddy going to do to me with 8 toes? Come on.
Oh, that's crazy. Why'd you have to go there?
That was bad.
You just had to go right below that belt, didn't you, boy?
Well, cops say a lot worse than that if they don't like you because of your color. So, unfortunately, I had that experience as well. I wish you just said my daddy had 8 toes. That was the worst thing he said.
Hey, man, that's crazy. But No, I definitely, hopefully, like Kev say, he's learned his lesson. Hopefully, it's only one way to find out. Wait and see.
We shall see.
Only one way to
Wait till
find out.
next week after. Wait till training camp. See if he speeds after that.
Oh my God! Hopefully, he learns this lesson. Hopefully, he learned. He's learned.
No, I hope he did. For his sake, and everything that's going on, he don't need nothing else on his plate right now.
Because like I say, because when I saw it twice, I'm like, shit, it only take one time in Illinois. They take your I was like, how you doing this twice?
So see, I'm not gonna lie, Swab. That's kind of genius for Illinois.
Oh yeah.
Because
and then it was like right after the pandemic. So you didn't have to go in the courtroom, but you had to do it on Zoom.
And they send it back to you?
No. You had to go.
Oh, you had to go pick it up.
Yeah, you had to go get it. Yeah.
Okay.
The judge
So that means you gotta pay your fine.
like his license. Chick. Do right there to the judge.
Hey, man. Hey. No, you know what? I had to. No, you know what? What happened was I had to do community service.
Whoa, how fast was you driving?
We're not talking about that. But
this is the first offense?
Wasn't my first?
It couldn't have been. You got community service. Wow.
No. Well, I'll put it like this. This is the first time I got
caught.
Yeah, there you go.
And
First
they
time I
gave
got
you
to take it
community
away.
service on the first time you got caught?
Well, it wasn't. It was like 10 hours. It was like a 10-hour thing.
That's a lot out of your day. That's a full day.
Not really. I'll
tell you
about it later. I'll tell you about it later.
You sound like DJ right now.
No, I just know Mom maybe watch. But I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it later. Yeah, man, it was. Yeah.
No wonder you don't want his mama to hear. Like, boy, give me your keys. Give me your keys. You get the judge. Mama get the belt.
Hey, come on, man. Really.
Now it makes sense why when you in Atlanta, you do not flinch when I'm driving. You just sit back and enjoy the ride. I get it now.
Hey, me and that Nissan be cruising, boy. Me and that Nissan. People be like, man, this thing get up. I know. No. Let's get back.
Yo, speaking of the A real quick before you go to your next topic, we need to definitely just do this show live from Atlanta.
For sure.
Live. Got the hookup.
Why not?
We do it live.
We got the room. We can get it done.
Let's do
We ain't gotta go nowhere. We can just do it in the studio at the station.
That's what I said. You got. That's what you got. Yeah. I ain't gonna put all your business out there, play. I just said you got the spot.
Yes, man. You the man with the connects, you know.
Yeah, you the man with the plan, you know.
But
have Howard's cater.
Yeah.
Or Twin Peaks, your favorite spot, Suave, you know.
Good life on Twin Peaks.
Hey, no, you know what? hey, that's me and Kev's favorite spot. That boy. Hey,
I don't hide it. I'm a fan.
Hey, Kev was
find Twin Peaks in Texas. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. It's just that when they had them, I think they just hired like legal age girls because that last time we went over there, I felt bad for them girls, man. I felt like it was like my little niece. It was a cold night and they standing by the kitchen because they half naked working. This is a travesty.
Hey, you know the funny thing is, I only go when y'all in town. I went once, and ever since then, I only go when y'all come.
You say it wasn't the same?
It's not even that. You got to think about it. That's on the other side of town for me. So I'd rather, the time and gas, I can do that at my crib.
Yeah. No, man, that's our favorite spot. What? I get me and Kev favorite wings, and we good to go, boy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I don't know, because Kev go from wings to salad, so I don't know.
That He wanted a couple wings. That
The
boy was trying to
salad,
be
the
healthy.
salad is the responsible man in me, right? My brain. Hey, Kev, you're a man of a certain age. It's late at night. Eat the salad. But the person on the other side really want the wings.
That boy said, "Let me try one. Let me get another." I'm like, "Damn, dog." All right, here, Kim.
But the salads were good too. And the wings were good too, obviously, but the salads were good. Twin Peaks, if you listen, we need a sponsorship. Let us record our show from the Atlanta Twin Peaks. And what was Buck? What was that? What part of town? Buck? We was in Buckhead. What
Buckhead.
I believe so.
Oh, no. What part of town is that? Oh, we was in
Buckhead.
We were in Buckhead. And listen, Twin Peaks, Buckhead. Y'all need to sponsor us.
Yeah.
We show you a lot of love on these.
Buckhead.
And we're not on cycles. Sponsor us.
Mm-hmm.
There's
one here that I ain't been to yet.
Tag this video when you put on IG to Twin Peaks. We need to sort of campaign.
I'm gonna tag this clip. We're gonna tag this clip.
Oh, we is that campaign starting now? Because you know I'm bringing up every show.
Yes, we started right now.
Hey, we need sponsorships. That's the only way we're gonna pay to go on these trips.
This is an example of what can happen.
Yes.
And this little talk break was brought to you by Twin Peaks.
With the bald headed with the wig. She can be right there serving us a drink.
Here you go. Would you please?
She's still there. I wonder. You follow her Instagram, Squad? Look up.
Look, man, I don't know. Look at up.
We never seen the same people twice.
That's true.
Oh, really?
Because when the first time we went, it was that white girl from Hustle and Flow that was giving Suave.
No, she wasn't.
And then the next time me and Suave went, it was a bartender.
I got you, Daddy. She was like giving Suave.
No, she was not. She just wanted. She was just trying to make an honest living. That baby was trying to make an honest living
as well.
That baby was trying to get her some tips and money. So yeah. So hey, I got another question. Did y'all see Shannon Sharp and Jim Jones going at it about what Jim Jones said about Nas?
Yeah.
And then they went from Shannon saying you can't never see him to Jim like, hey, let's go to the gym. And Shannon like, I got strength. Jim was like, do you work out or do you push weights? It's a difference. Shannon was like, you can't see me. I'm like, Shannon, Jim Jones got them crazy pull-up clips. I don't know how strong you is, boy, but Jim Jones may have a different kind of upper body strength. How many pull-ups can you do, Shannon? So, you can do 225 30 times. But how many times can you pull up your own body weight? Just saying.
Yeah, I saw it. Obviously, I saw the clips because you see the clips and go, what happens? I just go watch Nightcap myself. Just that, and they had Ricky Williams early in the show. I said, I don't see that. And then I fast forward to the Jim Jones part. I really think it was kind of like they were just ribbing each other. They had that little moment of,
I think Jim was upset.
Yeah, true. They got all right at the end. Anytime Ocho's involved in something, I'm always thinking now it's a setup. So I think they probably just got into that just to get viral, be viral. Jim Jones has been in the media for a week now for the comments with the about Nas. And one thing about Jim is that he knows how to manipulate the media. Like I said, he's the oldest teenager I know, and he moves in these technology streets, and he knows what he's doing. So yeah, I mean, I believe in his mind he believes what he said, but I think more is about just creating buzz.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
I agree.
Every time now Chad Johnson got a new girlfriend, the world got to know. Like now, I don't know if you saw the last post with him. He's got a post him laying on some girl's lap. Oh, So when it's Shannon and those two, and with the Michelle audio, I don't trust nothing they do no more. Everything to me they do is just it's a bit.
Everything they do is planned out.
Everything's a bit. And maybe Shannon wanted to do a segment so he can kind of, he's been kind of pinned up from that thing 2 months ago. So maybe he's wanting to exert some energy, some vocal energy. Like I said again, I watched it and I was like, they went at it. And 5 minutes later, they say we love each other. So I just think that obviously it was all a bit because all the content creators took it because that little 3-minute piece and they get ready to. Now they fighting each other on different coasts and on StreamYard like we are. Come on, they ain't fighting nobody.
Go ahead though. What you got, dog?
Shannon,
huh?
How old is Shannon Sharp?
57.
How old is Jim Jones?
48.
Is he really 48?
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
that's
it.
I
thought he was old. I didn't know how old he was though.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
At some point, just like we were saying earlier, you can clown all you want, but at some point, at your age, you start to look kind of childish. Shannon Sharp, Jim Jones, y'all are looking kind of childish, especially Shannon. You challenging any and everybody because you lost one of your jobs.
Oh,
Jim Jones, I know you trying to stay relevant. Put out music. How about that?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, bro. I mean, at a certain point, all the internet games and stuff, you just start to look kind of childish.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, I hear you. But yeah, it's it, it was funny when Jim was like, "Hey, stop wearing them tight ass shirts." And Shannon was like, "I'll wear what I want." I was like, okay, what are we doing here? I was like, boy, people crazy. Can't take nobody nowhere.
Anything for content.
Oh, for sure. So, gentlemen, before we get up out of here, who wins tonight and why? Because this would be both of their first championship, right? In franchise
NBA championship for Indiana. They won an 80 for the NBA.
Technically, OKC has one because they're from Seattle.
Right.
When was that one though? When was that?
79.
70s?
79. No. 70 something.
79.
Okay.
That's right, because Lakers won it 79-80. So okay.
Big shout to Gus
Lenny
Williams,
Wilkins.
Pride of Mount Vernon, Lenny Wilkins, downtown Freddie Brown. Yeah, I remember that because Gus Williams is from Mount Vernon. I'm from the Northeast Bronx, and he won. He was one of the stars on that team, and I remember them bringing the trophy to Mount Vernon. I'm showing my age again.
But, no, that's bro. You see, I said that's right before the Lakers won 79-80 because I'm thinking Magic. So that's why I was like,
And just for our younger viewers, this is when the NBA Finals were on tape delay. It wasn't even. That's tell you how far the NBA.
But that's crazy to even think about. Like today, it's on tape delay. Like
you would watch the local news. They would say, if you want to watch the finals, turn your volume on and close your eyes. That's how.
And they just say we'll give you a couple of minutes to walk out the room or turn it off. And they'll be like, okay, if you hear this now, it's on you, and they'll tell you the score and show you the highlights.
The Seattle Supersonics beat the Washington Bullets. And ain't no more Bullets. Ain't no more Supersonics. That tell you right there. But yes, that's part of the franchise of OKC.
Okay. All right.
But to answer your question, I'm gonna say OKC, crowd, embarrassment from game 6.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is now turned into the NCAA the NCAA championship.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. One game. That's it.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's gonna lay it on. I think this might be one of the best games they've had because there's no tomorrow. There's no reason to save nothing. reason to leave nothing in the tank. So everybody's gonna be spent by the end of this one, regardless. So I'm going with OKC. I want to say a nice margin, but I'm hoping it's no more than 5, just for it to be entertaining all the way through.
Oh, we on the same page. We talked about this last week about OKC hadn't played their best game. I still don't think they played their best game. I think we see that best game tonight at home for the championship. I think again, Shea will have a big game. Look for Caruso to have a solid game, and I think again, if this man drops 25 or more, Jalen Williams, he could be the MVP. I think they win by 10. I don't think it's that close. I think they win like low double digits. And I think again the Oklahoma City franchise will get their second world championship, their first in their new city.
Right. Okay.
Well,
you write down.
no, I was looking at something. I just seen this thing. Well, I'll tell you about it in 1 second. But I'm gonna ride with the Pacers, man. I've been riding with them since game 1. I told OG and Fresh, I was like, I'm drinking the lemonade. You know, yeah. I just think, they're young enough not to know better, and they're young enough to also not have that pressure that you would think, because they like, we technically not supposed to be here anyway. So why not just, take it all away and win this thing? To your point about the Thunder, I think Carlisle pulls gonna grab Halliburton by his shirt and be like, hey, my man, I need you to win this thing by any means possible. I don't care about all that 10 assists, 11 assists. If you gotta go for 25 and we win this game, that's all that matters. And I think I'm sure somebody sat down with Halliburton and was like, look, you gotta give it your all, dog. Because you're not promised to be here. You're not. Y'all got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, but you're not promised. And even on OKC side, you're not promised to be back here next year. Injuries and people got to start getting paid. Players may start moving around. You ain't promised, but I think Indiana pulls it out, and I think it'll be. Say Indiana probably pulls away late. Like they win by like 5 or something like that. Or it looks very similar to game 1. They had the ball last second, and I think Indiana spoils OKC's dream season.
Yeah. We'll see.
That would be an NCAA style one shining moment type game.
I don't know if you saw this, but I found this clip before we came on today, and it, put things in perspective about tonight, the magnitude, everything. Hold on, it's loading.
If you win it, you get everything. If you lose it, you get nothing. It's that simple.
And we got a game 7, and I think it's going to be a thrill. I don't think I've ever looked forward in my life to going to OKC. I do now. I can't wait for Sunday night. I can't wait.
We got one game. It's nothing that's happened before matters.
The best 2 words in sports. Game 7.
So, yeah, like the great Bill Russell said, no better words in sports than a game 7.
Yeah, it is.
Huh? What?
Yeah, it is.
What?
World champion.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's hey, but you only get that after you win game 7.
No, I don't even want to go to a game 7. I want to get it done before 7.
Hey, yeah, but hey, tonight's the night, you know.
Yeah, tonight's the night, boy. I think this
Tonight
might be the
you may
might
have
be the
a
most
good 48
highest
games.
rated game out of the series.
Huh?
This might be the highest rated game out of the whole series.
Oh yeah.
It should be. It should be. It's all the marbles. I mean, this is not about location at night. This is it.
How bad do you want it?
Yep. All right, good people. We'll talk to y'all next week. Let us know who you got in the chat, who you got tonight, and we will see y'all later.
Twin Peaks, Atlanta. We need you.
Buckhead, is that the one?
In Buckhead.
Buckhead Arena area. We need y'all.
Yeah. Just
not even that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to put it to one location.
All of them.
Twin Peaks. We need you as a sponsor because you have one in Arizona. You have one here, so we can take this around and make it a Twin Peaks.
They got
NYO.
one here. They got one here, like an Oak.
There we go.
Yeah.
Twin Peaks do a tour. Nyo Weekly.
There you go.
Yeah.
We can do a tour. Just think about it.
Yeah. Hey, you'd be better than Hooters. I'm just. All right, we go.